Hello Ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to a special video today. The Broodmother is back. You may have seen me taking on this beast for around 2.5 hours solo. Here is the shortened little video to show you how to defeat, give you some ideas and what to expect when taking on the first big proper true boss of Grounded. Don't forget to like, it really helps the channel out if you find this video useful, and let me take you through everything I learned defeating the Broodmother. Okay, so first things first, you need to have unlocked the oven so that you can make the BLT. There is a special lure that starts the boss fight with the Broodmother. You will not be able to fight the Broodmother until you make this special bait. And the oven, you need to go and get the piece of the coal from where it's tipped over the barbecue just past the pond. You'll need a level 2 hammer to get the pieces, and there's usually 2 or 3 just situated pretty much close to where the net pops out of the pond. You should get the idea. You're also going to need 10 bits of clay, and you're also going to need a bunch of boiling gland too. In fact, you're going to need 4, so plus that 1 piece of charcoal, and then you can go ahead and make the actual oven. Now, I have already unlocked the new stuff, the mushroom build pieces, so I'm not 100% sure whether or not the oven is associated with that chip. If you don't see the oven when you've picked up the 3 pieces to make it, then maybe you do need to go and get the actual chip for it. You'll find that when you go and do the Haze lab. I've shown you guys a guide already, go and check it out, it'll be in the comment section too. Now, back when they first implemented the Broodmother, it was pretty much in the hedge, and you had to travel up it and along it until you got to the frisbee, and there it was. It was pretty much just a big black widow spider and an orb weaver junior, and that's what you had to fight. But they've changed it massively now. It's a proper boss on its own. But you still need to head towards that frisbee or that disc, the flying disc, to actually find the boss fight. Now I'm going to talk and I'm going to show you without cutting and edits, just in case you're fairly new to the game and you haven't actually explored near the edge. I would say you probably would have done by now though, judging you shouldn't even be thinking about taking on the Broodmother until you've completed all the other stuff. You are going to need your best weapons. You're also going to need a lot of the Bratwurst bombs. That's my best advice, is take a bunch of them, especially if you're doing this solo. If you're doing this as a crew, it'll be a lot easier. You can have different roles, and I'm going to talk about that. But if you're doing it on your own, you're absolutely going to need something to take out some smaller creatures. The Broodmother does summon some smaller minions a couple times at different stages through the fight, and if you're doing this solo, you're absolutely going to need the best armor that's either going to give you the most health, the most protection with block, or possibly the best stamina regeneration. Now, I did do this fight using lots of cheats to get me to this stage, and I spawned in all the weapons and stuff because I just wanted to test out the mechanics of the fight and show you guys and be one of the first to show you can defeat it solo. But when it came to actually fighting the boss, the Broodmother, I have turned it back onto normal mode to show you how difficult it is. It's been a while since I visited the hedge. I almost forgot how to get there, but just keep following the path that I'm setting. You should come across to the laboratory. You'll know you're on the right track. There's a few things in here you might as well pick up as well. Some sustenance. You're going to need a lot of healing items. The Heal Bassa bomb could be particularly good if you're doing this together. Otherwise, lots of granola bars and as many different types of stamina rejuvenating smoothies as possible. Make sure you put lots of spaces to sleep and save your progress as well, just in case, so you don't have to keep coming back up in here. You can just load your game again. Just keep making your way along until you get to the point where you've got on the zip line to go across, or go ahead and do some mad cat business like me. Yeah, I'm a pro, what can I say? No, I'm not. I fell off that. That was the second time I did that. And here is the pretty much entrance. You can see it on the right hand side, just along the branches. You can go in there, sort yourself out, maybe kill all them little creatures, get some berry stuff, but you don't really need to. There is obviously the scab on the frisbee, like it's always been there, and that's where you used to fight the Broodmother, but now the Broodmother's much bigger, much different. Don't forget as well that if there are any enemies nearby, you may actually have to go and take them out, otherwise it won't let you place any of these items on the branches until you've defeated or till you're out of danger. So to make the baits, you're going to need a thistle needle, you're also going to need ladybug parts, and you're going to need some bombardier parts. That's why it stands for BLT, Bombardier, Ladybug, Thistle. You can see there you need 2 of the body parts each and 1 thistle. Once you've done that, it will take a bit of time to cook, at least a couple minutes, and then eventually you'll be able to go and take on the boss. Now, I had a bit of problem taking the BLT out of the actual oven using a controller on PC, so hopefully it was just an issue that I had. If you are on PC, use your keyboard and press the space button apparently to take it out that way. Obviously, save your progress, much needed. And then it's time to go and fight her. So you don't have to worry about any minions or anything, other spiders when you get to the place. You do have to insert pretty much the bait, and then the bait will start the boss fight. So don't panic, just go through this area. You don't have to be too cautious. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I've not been playing Grounded that much lately. I've been doing guides and updates and stuff, but actually getting used to the mechanics again, it's been a while. So if you're really good at perfect blocking and you're using weapons that give you good blocking amounts, things like the mint mallet, I reckon this boss fight might be a lot easier for you, but I found it quite challenging because I just haven't played it for such a long time. So you can see you can insert the BLT there, and then she's pretty much going to drop down from the ceiling. And yes, I had to take some photos because, you know, reasons. Once I stop fannying around, then it's time to face her. Now, like all good bosses, she has a variety of different attacks and different phases. Now, attacks originally are going to be a lunge that she'll occasionally do, and then she'll do a free attack. Attack once, attack twice, and then she'll reel herself in for a bigger attack. This is your moment to use them perfect blocking skills. By utilising that and blocking at exactly the right time, I reckon you'll have a lot easier time than I did. Then it's a combination of using high damage but quick acting, or really going for it with the mint mallet. Now, I tried using the bow and arrow. I'm not discounting it. You guys might be better off though getting feather arrows and using the marksman's cap, and I reckon you'll be able to do a fair amount of damage. All in all though, I found this method pretty hard going. Like, we got maybe about quarter the way health down using either the bow and arrow and trying to use the spear, and stupidly I wasn't using the shield, and there was other ways that we can defeat this guy a lot better. Obviously having lots of healing items is important as well, bandages, granola bars, and making sure that you have got lots of smoothies beforehand. So you can see that little jump attack she does. You can't really outrun her, you can't really dodge unless you've got like the quickest armor going, but I would say it's very hard to dodge or outrun the Broodmother. So you just need stuff that's going to give you lots of health, like the ladybug armor, or something that's going to give you more stamina. That combination of not being perfectly blocking and not paying attention to my health and getting stuck on these eggs meant I didn't last long in my first attempt. The second go, we tried a bit more some liquid rage. I made sure that I had mutations on for using my mint mallet, and I got my mint mallet out, and definitely this was when I started to realise that yeah, this could be the way. I did also try it with just the spider dagger, but you just don't do enough damage. You do a lot of hits, but it still just takes too long. So a combination of actually the mint mallet and eventually the Brathurst bombs, that's what's going to help here, getting stuck on them and helping out. There's also some stages where she'll call her minions at least twice, and that's where I really had problems trying to defeat a bunch of them. You can see there, the first little ones are just spiderlings, they're okay, but try and take them out with a mallet is just not the one when you're also panicking about your health and stuff. So you got to absolutely make sure you got full health at all times, pretty much in this fight, and I wasn't equipped on this second run. We switched it up. I gave myself a little bit more faster acting armor. Like I said, I wanted to try and see if the armor would work, moving quicker, and really works with the Brathurst. But you got to make sure you try not to stick the actual spider itself, Broodmother, because you'll get destroyed by it coming and exploding in your face. Pretty much as soon as you've activated it, turn around and get ready to throw some of them. You just want to get it so it's landing on the floor as she's landing. And yeah, if you're good at running around and getting away from them, it's great. Like I said, once it gets close to them, that's it, stop throwing them. Otherwise, you are going to end up just killing yourself with your own bombs. I've got a Weevil shield now as well to help out with that extra defense, and we're going to just keep kiting, running around the arena and seeing if I get some distance again to throw more Brathurst. You can see each one is doing about half damage nearly or close to it, and so it's a very good idea to soften her up with some of these. Now this is a 3-pronged attack, and that's what you would need to be perfectly blocking, and if you do that, I reckon it'll be a lot easier, which I'm going to show you guys. Unfortunately, I haven't mastered this. I kept running out of stamina, running over to trying to get some hits in, and then yeah, she does that big swoop one, which you've got to be careful as that really stops you, especially if there's minions around in a minute as well. She also does this lift off attack as well. That's when she's going to summon other minions. Again, be careful where you're throwing these bombs, really aim them at the floor, and you should have no problem hopefully taking out some of these guys a little bit better. As you can see, I still got it stuck on her that time, but I just got lucky that I took a couple out, and I managed to get across to the other side of the arena, turn around and throw another Brathurst and get the last few remaining that were coming along. In fact, she actually calls the minions I think 3 times. Its first time is with the small ones, and then second and third time it will be with some smaller orb weavers as well. This is where I messed up. I threw the bomb and it attached to one of the orb weavers, or it was too close. I wasn't paying enough attention, and yeah, it just absolutely ruined you when that bomb goes off. I must have died another 3 or 4 times. It took me like nearly 2.5 hours to get all the prep ready, even using cheats as well as fighting it off. But this was the perfect one. I'm not going to cut the edit. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did. Softer up there, took 2-way with the bombs, and then used the mint mallet to really get in there. Don't be too scared. Like pretty much at this early stage, she'll do a couple of lunge attacks. There we go. I just perfectly blocked that one, and that gave me an opportunity to swing it. And I've already got her down by about 25-30% health. She does the getaway attack, and that's when she summons the minions, and this is where you've got to really aim at the floor and hopefully take some of them out. Again, because you're using that mallet, it can be really difficult. So if you're doing this as a team, one of you takes out the adds, the other one carries on concentrating on the Broodmother itself. One of you could be in charge of bombs, but again, be careful that you're not destroying your teammates if you've got that turned on. And yeah, I was just really trying to make sure I was getting them, but without actually aiming at a spider that would then suddenly attack me. Using plenty of my healing items, and then I got my thing out. I was a bit late there, but I managed to block the second one, and then the third, that was the lunge that you've got to be careful of. So yeah, just getting lots of shots, lots of hits, and we're nearly at 50% done. I've got loads of the potions now, the green machine, the gastro goo, and the liquid rage, just pretty much panicking and drinking all of them to see if they give me some extra buffs and stuff like that. And as I said, I do think mutation wise you need the one with you get extra damage with the hammer if you've got it maxed out already. Otherwise the critical shot, the Frard de Grace, is that what it's called? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that one would be maybe the one to use if you haven't maxed out your hammer throws. So she's a bit slow here, like you could have probably gotten a lot more attacks, so I thought I'm going to go up a bit more. But yeah, that one's the lunge attack she does occasionally. Just get up nice and close. You can see doing loads of damage. And that's the 5 attacks that she does, and that 5th one is a bit delayed. I did try the mosquito sword as well, but it just doesn't give you enough health. Might be good for taking on some of the minions, but they kind of swarm you, so you have solo got to find a way to deal with them quicker, and that's where the Brathurst comes in. You could try maybe not using the sticky versions. That might help a lot, stopping them getting stuck to a spider, but I felt like I really need to make sure they placed in the right spot. You can see it's done the job. I'm running around and I'm managing to kill all of them while hopefully defending myself, although I come pretty close there. So healing up as much as possible, taking all your potions and getting your mint mallet out back again. The jump attack will take almost all of your health, at least 80%, if you're not defending that as well, so you've got to be really careful. And if you haven't got ladybug armor, I don't know what kind of armor is going to help you out really. Like, I tried it with the bee armor to give myself a bit more of a sprint attack, but like I said, I couldn't really escape. It was just too tough to get away from her when she done the jump. So yeah, and that's the big 5th one that you just got to defend. Try not doing like any perfects, and then running away again as she has summoned her minions for the 3rd time, I do believe. But this fight was great. Like I said, I've not played Grounded for a while. It was nice to have a huge challenge. It's definitely made me want to go and start a brand new fresh Let's Play so I can get up to this stage completely legit and do all that hard work after actually getting all this stuff myself instead of cheesing stuff in. But I did that on purpose because I wanted to show you guys the various different ways that you could attempt it. And I want tips from you. If you've got any ideas what you think would work, will it work with a marksman hat as well as a feathered arrows with a crossbow maybe? Have you got any other suggestions about what kind of combinations of weapons and armors you could be using? Then do let me know. I did run out of bombs at this point, so I had to deal with it as well, making sure that I was taking on the Orb Weavers and just keeping my health up to 100% as much as humanly possible. There's nowhere to run in this boss fight. You can't just escape. If you do die, one good thing, they give you the bait back, so you don't have to keep making multiple pieces of bait. You run back to it, the bait will be on the floor, all your stuff will be on the floor as well, and you can just simply pick it up. Word of caution, take some armor repair stuff, like some materials to repair, leave it in the chest. I did have to repair my armor at least once every sort of 3 fights with the Broodmother of failing. She's got 2 rewards, which I'm going to obviously go through and show you. That scream as well draws creatures near, and that's the only time I managed to stun her. Now, I wasn't 100% sure if it was the mint mallet that had stunned her, or whether or not it was just because it was towards the end of the fight and the game does it. But yeah, it still helped out a bit to set my stamina was so low. That's why it's always good to have stuff that's going to give you increase in stamina. But we're that close now. One more, just defending, being patient, making sure I don't rush in, and then waiting for that stamina to go back up and take her out at last. Or until she decides to jump away from me. But I wasn't going to be deterred. Don't have to worry, she doesn't call any more minions after that either. And that's it, she's done. You get a nice achievement from it as well. So that was all good. Obligatory another screenshot just for the thumbnail, and I could go ahead and get the resources from her. And yeah, we managed to get pieces of her abdomen and stuff like that, and you can pretty much make 2 items. You can make a brand new weapon, which is the Broodmother club, and then you can also make a mask. So the mask gives you what, 3 and a bit health, the mask of the mother demon. It also has poison coating, so I'm guessing that might amplify your poison damage. I did have a little scout round to see, and I was trying to see if I could take on some other creatures to see what it would do, but I really couldn't find out. So yeah, let me know if you find out exactly what it does, but the poison coating, I'm guessing, is going to amplify your damage to creatures. Obviously tier 3, the club of the mother dragon. Obviously it uses the resources like the fang, and you can see huge amount of damage, big massive stun, and pretty fast speed as well. So absolutely tier 3 weapon. It was a long old stream doing this. I didn't really get a chance to test it out thoroughly against lots of creatures, but you can see it's here in action against some spiderlings, and like I said, I couldn't really tell if it had any other benefits. Last thing to know is that it gave you the option to put another BLT in afterwards, so I presume you can just keep going back and farming pieces and doing the boss fight over and over again. Although you don't get the BLT back after you defeated it, you only get it back if you die. And there we go guys, I'm going to practice, I'm going to try different techniques, different ways to defeat her, and I'll come back with more proper detailed guides on how you can take down Broodmother perfectly. Go and check out the rest of my guides for this update. Don't forget it's coming live for everyone on the 30th of June, and it's in test live right now, so go and try it out for yourselves. Until next time, laters!